Okay, so let's go back to the basics so people understand what Bitcoin is, right? Now, as you can see, as I said, Bitcoin is an open and transparent accounting system, right? So just now, I believe Jess has shown you, right? The block size, all the transactions is open, transparent. Everybody, anyone can access to it. Can see. Even my dog. I don't have a dog, but you have a dog. You can try train it to go on the net and use the internet. Then your dog will also know. So today let's just talk about basics. Okay, I don't want to go too far. Maybe next session we will do the advanced one. Okay, so when you talk about accounting, I want to ask how many of you have actually run a business before? You know what I mean, right? So when you run a business, you have to keep set of accounts, right? Your capital in cash, your cash in hand, your cash in the bank account, and then your sales come in, and then your debtors, your creditors, and then you spend for your overheads, right? Your rental, your electricity, your transportation, and then in the end you have your profit and loss account and things like that, right? You keep your accounts. Now, if you run a business, most businesses, when you grow big, you do not actually do your own accounting, right? You will hire someone to do the accounting job for you, right? So we will have accountants like our Henrietta, right? Henrietta, accountant. So you will pay an accountant like Henrietta to do the accounts for you. But the question is, Henrietta listens to whose orders? Of course, to the boss, right? So if the boss say, hey, this thing, do this thing, don't keep this bill, keep in another thing, or do not include this bill, or this bill, you go entertainment, for example, right? You do entertainment, you go karaoke with your friend, that bill is 3,000 ringgit. You do not want the bill to appear in the account. You say, never mind, take this bill off. Then Henrietta will say, okay, fine. Okay, we do not include this bill. This you consider your personal or whatever. You can adjust and play. You can massage your accounting, right? Okay. That is why I say, for those who do business, sometimes we say you have 2 sets of accounts. Sometimes we say you have 3 sets of accounts. Why? Because you always have one set, which is the real account. Another set for your tax purpose. Another one is for spouse
accounting.
Creative account. Another set is for the spouse to see one. So this is what the joke I always tell. So you see, when you run a small business or a small company, and you show your accounts, how trustworthy is your set of accounts? This is the question I want to ask. Not very trustworthy. Agree or not? Why? Because the accounts can be very creative and can be massaged to show whatever it wants to show, right? Even if you say, hey, I have a qualified accountant to do it, but don't forget, your qualified accountant also listen to your instructions. You see?
Can be arranged.
Can be arranged. Wow, is Henrietta here?
Bisa diatur. That's what they say in Indonesia.
Yeah, boleh settle. You see? Everyone knows this. So that is why, now even not to say Sdn Bhd, if it goes public, do you think those public accounts are really, really trustworthy? You never heard of the name called Enron or things like that. So it is also can be very creative fun. So all of you in the professional, you will know what I'm talking about. But why is this different? You see, because if you pay Henrietta, she does the accounting for you. But if you don't pay her, the next day you don't see her anymore. Why? You are not paying me to do my job. Why should I keep your accounts for you? Now, the difference with blockchain is actually all the miners are accounts clerk. Whoever joins in to become a miner is actually an accounts clerk. Okay? So in the Bitcoin world, everything has got to be broadcasted. Okay, broadcast is a very important word. Okay, so if I want to send Bitcoin to Ivan, I need to broadcast this transaction to the entire network. So you can imagine, if I want to transfer 1 Bitcoin to Ivan, I have to shout to the whole wide world that I am transferring 1 Bitcoin from this address to this address. I have to shout to the world. Okay, and all these miners, they will pick up my order or this broadcast, and then include in their account. They will jot down. But of course, they are not personal, they are computer programs, right? But they are like clerks. So you have all the different clerks running it. Okay, and all these different clerks, they do not know each other one,
Mm.
Okay, now the question is, like just now I say, if you don't pay our accountant, she ran away the next day. And to be the accounts clerk of the Bitcoin network, you need to invest in equipment. You need to pay very high electricity. It's a lot of cost, right? So what do you pay them with? They are incentivized by Bitcoin. They are incentivized by the every 10 minutes, now 6.25 Bitcoins. So, in other words, if there is no incentive, some incentive called the Bitcoin, there will never not be a blockchain network. There will not be this Bitcoin blockchain network. Why? Because no incentive. Who will work? You try your accountant, you don't pay her, you see, tomorrow you don't see her face already. You understand? This is what people don't understand. People always think, oh, mining, I get this coin and go and sell.
It's also humanizing the digital form. That means bringing the human effort of each one of us, checking, doing that auditing. But imagine all in the network.
Everyone. And they are total strangers. But everybody will play their part. Why? Because only when they are honest and sincere, that the network and the account books are trustworthy. And only when the account books are trustworthy, many people will want to use it and keep it. And when many people want to use it and keep it, then the value goes up, no?
So it is to the benefit of each and every individual to be honest, because you are not just incentivized to be honest, but when you are not honest, you will be kicked out from the network anyway.
Correct. And that is why I think a lot of proprians now, they start to understand why our company is run in this way, right? You see, we have the chat groups and we are open. Okay, we treat everyone is like a miner, right? We open our operations, and then if we need anything, we broadcast to the network and see if any miners, you pick up the job. And when you
First
pick up
right
the
to
job,
refusal.
yeah, first right to refusal. And when you pick up the job, you get incentivized, right? You have share points, you have the shadow allowance, and even eventually a full perks job, things like that, right? So it's very blockchain. You will start to understand and you will start to see it's very blockchain, very open, very transparent, right? So there is no way you can actually tweak with the figures. This is how Propy works. Actually, Propy works like a blockchain anyway, right? So let's go into another aspect of how to win this block. Just now I see already, you answer fast. Okay, now let me share another slight thing called mining pools. I do not know if anybody wants to know that. So mining pools is like a few people join together, okay, to answer the question, right? Because if you depend on one brain, maybe it's hard. So you pull up your energy or your resources to find the answer. So, and then after that, if you get the rewards, then you share the rewards, you share the incentive. That is called mining pools. Okay. So I think this is the basics on Bitcoin. So the more you put in the work, the more you work for it, the more you will get. The higher the chance and the probability, because it's all mathematics, right? So that is why the mining logic or algorithm in Bitcoin is called the proof of work. So if you put in a lot more work, the probability of you, of course, there's an essence of luck, okay? But if you work more, it means that you can get more. So you work more, get more, work more, get more. That's why it's called proof of work. And that is why the cost of the electricity, the usage keeps on going up, because everybody is trying to prove that they are working towards it. So you see, the argument when people argue, oh, Bitcoin consumes too much electricity. But then on the other hand, they argue Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. So these people don't know what they're talking about.
True, and that's the point. A lot of it actually, the value is really in the cost of producing the Bitcoin, and
Exactly.
and I keep telling everybody as well. And the one thing that blockchain does well and very well is the two things now: veracity of the data, because it's transparent and everybody is involved in the entire network. That's why it's distributed. At the same time, it's also incentivized. It's like I have a stake in it, and I think that's why it's so important for each and every one of us also within property to have a stake in it, because when you have a stake in it, what you do actually affects each and every one of the nodes as well.
And as I said, just like the white paper, okay, in property is our the amazing race. So we all agree that we are going to make this successful, right? How to make this successful? We have to deliver our app, blah blah blah, like this. We have to run our marketing. We have to do our compliance, our legal work, our administrative work, our accounting work. We have to do our sales. Now we have merchant acquisition and things like that, right? So it's like in the white paper, and everybody agrees to this, and that is why they come in. So it's really like the blockchain, you know the white paper, you know what we're doing, then you say, okay, I agree with this. Here I will come in. And when more people come in with more resources, and when the company has more businesses, more users, and the volume, of course it's worth a lot of money, right? It's very simple logic. Okay, that is the first level. Okay, and remember, I just want to relate our design to how blockchain it actually is. So one key point on why it is hard to tamper with the data is because remember I talked about the times, about every 10 minutes, blah blah blah, and then every 4 years, about every 4 years, blah blah blah, right? Okay, so there's a very important concept in blockchain called the timestamp. Okay, so when I broadcast and the transaction goes in, pump, timestamped. Okay, every block created, timestamped. Okay, so you can see timestamping along the way. And the only thing that you cannot turn back or turn around is time. So that is why timestamping is so crucial, right? And timestamping, this concept is also used in our property, especially in the My Deals design. Okay, in the property My Deals, it's like your My Order in the Lazada or Shopee, right? When you order something, you create a transaction, and then after you create the transaction in My Orders, you can see, right, that the seller say, okay, I've already packaged, I've already passed to Lalamove, and then the Lalamove already from the warehouse to here, and then from here on the way to your house, blah blah blah. So you can see the whole supply chain, right? Now this is exactly what we do in My Deals. So when you have appointed a lawyer, when you have start to apply for your home loan, when you have appointed an agent, when you have created a transaction, it will appear in the My Deals. And then when the lawyer does their land search, when they have done their developer's consent, when they have drafted the SMP for first review, second review, or whatever, you can see the whole process being time-stamped in the system. So eventually you can actually effectively trace what is happening with your deal. I have asked so many people, almost 100% of them tell me, after I have engaged a lawyer for my house buying or selling, I'm helpless. I do not know what's happening, right? You have to remain very passive and wait for your lawyer to call you and tell you what happened. Otherwise, you could have been waiting for 2 months, 3 months, even half a year or even 1 year for that transaction, and you didn't know what's happening. But with the system of My Deals, how we have designed, using the blockchain concept of this timestamping, you can actually follow and know your lawyer has gone to which stage and where it is facing issues or problems. And also your home loan, your application, why is it approved but the funds not released and things like that. Okay, you can see along every step of the way, there will be timestamping to check out on their efficiency. Okay, this is the My Deals design in the Property app, which is actually fit to this one. Okay, now I will move a little further